Clemson defeats SMU in a great ACC Championship game. Early, it didn't look like it was going to be great when Clemson quickly jumped out to a 14-0 lead, but the Ponies fought, and I'm proud of them for that. But at the end of the day, ice in the veins from Nolan. Is it Hauser?
I think it's Hauser. I don't know.
Hauser? So clutch, man. 56-yard field goal from the kid from Charlotte, winning it in Charlotte in front of all the Clemson fans. Zach, give me a little rundown of what you thought about Clemson beating SMU in the ACC Championship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think this was probably the best game of the weekend. I guess the SEC one, but I don't know, this was definitely the most entertaining. A lot of points, kind of close. I think my score prediction was 34-30 or 34-28. I think the final was 34-31. So in that ballpark, kind of as expected. A lot of points, and yeah, as you said, I thought SMU showed a lot, especially in that second half and fourth quarter. Down 17 going into the fourth quarter and roaring back to tie the game, just to, a few seconds later lose the game. But that was rough. But yeah, I thought it was a great performance by both teams. Clemson came to play, kind of forgot about some of the rougher moments of their season before. So that was good for them. Obviously earned themselves a spot in the college football playoff. Not a favorable one, but
yeah,
they've got a shot. SMU definitely did enough to deserve to stay in the field, as we talked about in the preview. And yeah, I mean, I think they should have been in regardless, but I think there was really no debate after that game, despite all the whining from SEC people. Don't get me started, but yeah, no, I think they did the right thing. I think SMU played well. Kevin Jennings really picked it up after some not very good mistakes earlier on in the game. So yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot left to be a lot to be desired from both sides, but a lot to like from both sides. And I think all in all, it was just a really entertaining football game with a lot on the line, and it showed. I was impressed with both sides.
Couldn't agree more. Zach, I might reveal a little bias here. We were both cheering for SMU in this game. I think we can say that.
Yeah.
So when SMU made that comeback, it was a jubilant moment for about 10 seconds. And then Clemson ran that kickoff back, and then Klubnik had like a 15-yard pass, and then guy nailed the field goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll echo your sentiment, and I'm glad Dabo said it. Both these teams, obviously Clemson winning, but SMU deserved it. I think we can agree that the committee got that one right. Committee, obviously not perfect, but
pretty close.
They got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got SMU right. And yeah, if Paul Feinbaum, if you're listening to this, man, love to have you on the show. First of all, we will treat you with the utmost respect, and then we'll grill you about some of your takes about the SEC. Because SMU deserves it. Even though they lost the game, it kind of feels like a win for them in a way.
Sure.
Like making the CFP. And, Kevin Jennings, I like to think in the locker room after the first half, Rhett Lashley went over to him and he said, "Come on, Kev. Come on, Kev." And Kevin Jennings, he turned it up, man. He was good. Throwing the ball, really efficient. I like him a lot. I think we talked about this a little bit with Vlad, but I'm not sure if you saw Timothy Chalamet on College Game Day. Guy kind of knows the ball a little bit. And he said Kevin Jennings might be a Heisman contender. next year, I could see it. Yeah, but other than that, props to Clemson. Obviously, their running game wasn't at its best. Phil Maffa maybe had a little bit of an injury there. Thought he would be a good weapon in the preview. Didn't really do much, but Klubnik, after crying in his car, sobbing after the loss to South Carolina, you had a good game, man. You did good. And yeah, any plays that really stood out to you in this game before we kind of
Um,
move to the future for these two teams?
not really. Player wise, I thought both quarterbacks played pretty well. A couple of not great mistakes for Jennings.
Right.
But besides, he was great. Besides that, Rashard Smith was good for the Ponies running the ball.
Yes, I agree.
Obviously, Jennings can run a bit too. I think he had a touchdown. He ran in a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, a couple big receiver performances too on both sides. Bryant Wesco, I think his name is.
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't wasn't their top guy during the regular season, was up there, but it's more Antonio Williams definitely. But I mean, they both were pretty solid, but Wesco was really good. I think had a couple of touchdowns, and then the tight end. I'm not going to get his name right, but
yeah,
I think he had 2 touchdowns. It's Burning Stool or something like that.
Big Jake.
Yeah, Jake. Yeah, no, I thought it was a good all-around performance on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit some good names on the head. Obviously, to people who are tuning in, because I could see some college football fans tuning into Clemson and SMU for the first time. Obviously, not the same names that you once saw in Clemson uniforms. Like Cade Klubnik is no Trevor Lawrence. Bryant Wesco Jr. is no T. Higgins or any of those big-time guys. That DeAndre Hopkins or Sammy Watkins, None of those big-name guys, but they did enough to get the job done today. One guy who I really liked on the Clemson defensive end was Sammy Brown, a true freshman from Georgia. I could see him being a great linebacker, kind of similar to I know he wasn't great, but if you remember Balin Spector, kind of just a white dude who just hit really hard. And those guys are good college football players. I could see him kind of being similar. Barrett Carter was their leading tackler this year. He had a good game as well. And SMU, a name to pay attention to going into the CFP, I think, is Roderick Daniels Jr., senior from Duncanville, Texas. Didn't have an amazing year this year, yards-wise, but came up with some clutch plays. That catch in the end zone was something I might see out of Zach Del Bello with the little toe drag, keeping the ball secured as he went to the ground. I like that a lot.
Appreciate it.
And I think that both these teams could give their opponents tough matchups. We'll do a preview of the CFP games, likely. But what do you think going forward? Clemson plays Texas and SMU plays Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to get too deep into it because we're going to do that later on. But, yeah, I mean, I think SMU definitely has the better draw. If they can beat Penn State, they have definitely a much more favorable matchup against Boise State in the quarterfinal rather than although I will say Clemson does get ASU if they win, but I can't really see them getting by Texas, to be honest with you. I could see SMU winning though. I wouldn't be too shocked.
Yeah.
It would be tough, but if they play well and are able to, keep Penn State out of the end zone, could definitely see that. But yeah, I mean, I think they both have a fighting chance. SMU more so than Clemson, but guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I would agree. I think these teams are going to be deservedly underdogs in their respective games. Going into Penn State obviously isn't easy. Same with Texas. And Texas is kind of a wagon. But yeah, good luck to ACC fans. Are they? Do you think there are any ACC fans that are watching this?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you have Louisville fan. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Louisville ACC. If you're an ACC fan, please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you, especially because we've talked a little bit of trash about your conference, and we'd like to see your opinion on that. So, yeah, good luck, Clemson. Good luck, SMU. Great game. Good luck to both of y'all.